afraid my preparation, especially this morning, was very fragmented. So I know what I want to tell you, but I think what I'm going to say is going to be fragmented, and I'll probably end up repeating myself, so my apologies. We have in this gospel here, Jesus healing this man, deaf and with a speech impediment. And this healing of Jesus that he does is part of the fulfillment of these prophecies from the Old Testament. And we read one of them here in the first reading, where it says in Isaiah, "The eyes of the blind shall be opened, the ears of the deaf shall be unsealed, the lame shall leap like a deer, and the tongues of the dumb sing for joy." And there are other texts that actually speak of exactly the same thing. And here Jesus is fulfilling the prophecies. God has come in the midst of his people, and he is bringing them healing. And we have this man brought to him by his friends. And what Jesus does with him in this healing, it's not like a lot of the other healings we see. Jesus does something that's quite different. He takes the man aside, out of the way. He's not into having shows, really. So he's taken this man aside. And the healing that he does, he just doesn't say, "Be healed," or just stretch out his hand. He does something very odd. He sticks his fingers into the man's ears. He puts spittle onto the man's tongue, and then he speaks the word, "Ephatha," be opened. And the way he does it is sacramental in a way. It's not a sacrament, but it's sacramental. Do you guys remember what a sacrament is? A sacrament is... Okay, repeat after me. A sacrament is an outward sign of an inward grace. Outward sign of an inward grace. A sacrament is a... You're good Catholics, you should know this and be able to repeat it off by heart with me without me having to tell you. A sacrament is an outward... given by Christ in the church. Given by... in the church. So altogether, the sacrament is... given by Christ in the church. Guys, I didn't hear you speak. Some of you weren't saying much. Say it out loud for me, just once more. The sacrament is a... I ask this question of a lot of couples when they do the marriage preparation, and sometimes with the baptism preparation, and they have no idea. So now you have an idea anyway. Okay, outward sign of an inward grace. So what we've got is outward signs. Jesus is, the man is deaf, and the outward sign, Jesus sticks his fingers into the man's ear. The man is dumb. He puts his spittle, gross, onto the man's tongue. And with outward sign, another outward sign is the word spoken, Ephatha, be opened. This is not an inward grace we're receiving. It's something that we see, a grace of healing, and the miracle happens. The man comes to Jesus. His friends have obviously told him about the work that Jesus is doing, the miracles that Jesus is working, and he's come expecting to be healed. He's come with a disposition. Lord, I need healing. I want healing, and I know you can give me that healing. He is already open here and here. And Jesus says the word, Ephatha, be opened. As Mary conceived the Lord in her heart before she conceived him in the womb, this man was opened before he was opened. Our problem, to bring it down to us, is that we come to Jesus and we're not really disposed to his healing, to his grace, what he wants to give us. We come to him often as the deaf, as the dumb, as the crippled, as the diseased, and we don't expect him or even desire him to heal us. Often we are deceived. We deceive ourselves in thinking, I'm okay. Being deaf is fine. Being dumb is okay. Having this disease is just fine. And crippled, well, that's just the way people walk. And I'm okay. I don't need Jesus, and I don't need his healing. we come with the wrong disposition and without being open to what Jesus can do for us, in us, and through us. Every time we come here, we meet, we encounter. God just doesn't, we encounter God, Jesus Christ, living, the one, the Word through whom the world, the universe was created. There is no power, no one greater than Him, and that's whom we encounter here. And He doesn't just stick His fingers in our ears or put spittle on our tongue, but He enters into us deep down within. That's what He does. That's whether we are open to it or not, that's what happens. That's what happens. God, Jesus Christ, comes. He enters into it. That's fine and dandy. But if there is no openness, and if we come without the expectation, if we come thinking that our blindness, our deafness, our disease, and our lameness is okay, we will not be changed. And when we encounter God, we should be changed. This experience here should be profound. But we'll often come in that without being in a state of grace. To be able to receive the fruits of the sacrament, yes, we will receive Jesus, but will we receive the fruits? Will we receive the graces that He has in store for us? If we're not in a state of grace, if we're in a state of mortal sin, not only will we not receive anything, we will harm ourselves. It will do us damage. And many of us come thinking that sin is okay. Yeah, many of us will come in thinking that a life of sin is okay. Everybody else is doing it. Heck, and they might be going up to Mass as well and receiving communion. And no, it is not okay. And I will not receive the grace that God has intended for me if I come in that way. So I need to be just at least in a state of grace. But then it's not only a state of grace. Yes, I'll receive some of God's grace if I'm in a state of grace. But I have to be in a right disposition, the intention of receiving what God has for me. That man came to Jesus. Why? Because he intended, ignore them. He intended to be healed. He came to Jesus because he wanted to be healed. We will often come here with absolutely zero intention because this is what I do on a Sunday. And I receive the bread and I drink the wine, but no expectation of meeting Jesus. That man came expecting to be healed. We come expecting nothing, and so we receive nothing. And folks, if we expect, if we have that desire, if we are trying to form our relationship with Jesus Christ and enter more profoundly into his life and allow him to open our ears which are deaf to his word because he speaks and we just don't listen, our eyes which are blind to his action in our lives and in the lives of others, our diseased hearts which are incapable of loving, if we come expecting him to heal, Lord, I'm deaf, I'm dumb, I need you to change me, to heal me, to convert me, Lord. I need conversion, and I need you to do it today. What a gift we have. What a gift you have in being able to come here and receive this. Do not waste the opportunity. Do not allow this, which should be a source of blessing, grace, power, life, to become the opposite. This is too good to waste. Let's come expecting, because God is alive and he does what he says he does. Expect, and then you shall receive.